Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I am on day number 3 of the Metatron 21-day meditation challenge, and I am hoping that you will get something out of this. Today's a little bit longer because we got to talking and it seemed not to stop. So we're going to give this a go, and I hope you enjoy. So day number 3, February 1st, 2025. The sky above me is blue and filled with sunshine. Such a day is somewhat deceiving. He says, "How is that?" I said, "It is really cold outside." "Ah, yes, that elusive cold. I can see that you are thinking more intensely about the weather." I said, "Well, yes, I have to take I take the good where I can get it." And he says, "But there's good all around you." And I said, "How so?" "There are so many things happening in the world. Sometimes I find myself slinking into sadness when I see what is happening around me. Yesterday I was told by a card reader to slow down, but was also told to release the negative. Why do I feel as though I'm getting mixed signals?" He says, you're getting signals from people around you. It does not mean that you should take to heart the things they say. Take whatever feels right to you. Release the rest. You learn from other people. You learn little bits of insight from them. If it does not apply to you, there may be someone watching that it does apply to. These readers have a gift. They take a card and look at it and interpret it. Let's try something. Take a card from one of your decks. "Which one?" I asked. He says, "It doesn't matter. Use the cat cards. You seem so fond of them." "Okay," I said. "Give them a good shuffle, but only once. Now take the top card." "Okay, now read it." "It says you should do this." "Sounds good. If your hair stands on end, then you can conclude that it's a positive result for you." He says, "Perfect. Now ask yourself, do you want to do whatever this is?" "It depends. There are a lot of things that I might want to try, but then I hold myself back." "Why is that?" he asked. "Well, they might be dangerous or harmful to me, so I decide against doing them." "Very good," he says. You just answered your question." "I did?" "Yes, you decided that to some extent that card doesn't apply to you, but to someone else it might." "Hey, I think I understand. It's like, what were we talking about yesterday? The drop of rain concept." "Bingo," he says. "You got it. That tarot reader has said often that the reading for a specific person may apply to someone watching, so that part does help even if it does not entirely fixate it on you." Let's move on to something else. I think you understand how that works. Have you been working with your pendulum? I fiddled with it yesterday. I sometimes pull it out when a question pops into my mind, but that doesn't seem to happen very often. Why? Well, the thing is, I don't have so many questions. I asked a question 2 days ago, but I don't know if my mind was as focused as it should have been. I sense that my father and my father-in-law are both proud of me, so that feels like enough. He says, yes. Well, I do think that the questions will come in due course. After all, you're a rather inquisitive sort. I said, yes, I do ask questions, but I sometimes think that it is because I have to think of something to say. Yet you write stories, he asked. You think that your stories would move along without any questions? Probably not. Okay, so I think you know what is happening here. I can sum it up in one word. Acceptance. Reluctant acceptance, you mean, when I see what is happening in the world. I understand, he says. You seem to want answers but don't know how to ask the questions. I said, oh, I know the questions all right. I'm just not certain if I can if I'm brave enough to act on the answer. I try so hard to do things or say things in a loving way, but you can't always do so because you are angry. Yes, I am. Why must people suffer? Why must they die or transition because of the acts of one selfish idiot? And he says, I think you see the answer. They choose it. Choose it? I said, I'm sorry, but why do little children choose to get sick? Why do people choose to bring harm to others? The more I think about this stuff, the harder it is to understand. He says, that's going to be hard for you to understand, but I think you need to hear what I have to say. You are angry, and anger is a perfectly normal human emotion. But too much anger veers into the negative and dark energies that you want to stay away from. Now, take a deep breath. Allow that light to fill you with each breath. Imagine every part of you fills with light and illumination with each breath you take. Do you feel better? Yes, it feels wonderful. Good, he said. Now, whenever you start to feel that anger bubbling up inside of you, do that. Breathe in deeply and imagine that you are breathing in light energy. When you breathe out, release the anger and any negative emotions it coincides with, and that card you were given and told to release the negative. I understand your anger, though, but I think in essence, you're not angry in as much as you are empathetic. You must never lose track of that sense of empathy that you hold inside. Empathy is that which enables you to see the humanity in others. And that is important. And I responded with thank you. And he said, now go forth. We will talk again tomorrow. So that is the end of day 3's meditation. And I have to say, wow, wow, and wow. I was contemplating yesterday after the live stream that I participated in, how much the cards had applied to me, because I got the Hermit and I got, these two cards were pretty much of the same idea from two different readers. And I was like wondering how that really applies to me, what I should do and how I should go forward. But Metatron did kind of answer that question for me. And I got the impression or the feeling that he was telling me that I was doing everything at a good pace, and that that sometimes I might get something that seems a little bit, an interpretation or a question that seems a little bit strange to me or hard to reconcile. And his response to me was that sometimes you just have to accept it as maybe it is a message that is more intended for another person as opposed to yourself. And you will know when that happens because you will feel it right here. So I hope that this has provided you with a little bit of insight as to where I'm going, but also that it helps you in where you are going. I understand that my anger is not so much anger as it is sadness. When I see what's going on in the world, I feel a sense of sadness, and I have to kind of disconnect myself from that for a little bit and come into the place where I realize that it's not anger that I'm experiencing, but rather a deep sense of sadness that is within me. And so I can release it and move on. So I wish you a wonderful day, and I hope that this brings you some sense of peace. And I hope to see you again tomorrow. And until we do meet again, as always, namaste.